flying with bells and whistles, with brilliant sunshine, Wellington celebrates the liberation of Paris and the fall of Romania. Coinciding, a parade scheduled to highlight an appeal for sick and wounded funds swings by. Taking a salute is Her Excellency, Lady Newell. Showering down paper and confetti is an American custom that has grown up here or been left behind. Today it adds to a scene that expresses Wellington's share in the rejoicings of the United Nations. Thousands jam-pack Liberty Corner to hear speeches and a musical program befitting the occasion. Today marks another victory for Allied arms. Free Paris faces the world again, symbol of the new France. There are over 2,000 pigs here, and not a squeak in the lot of them, for they're all bacon now. Farmers are keenly watching the judging of the largest baconer competition in the world. The first award for as pretty a quartet of baconers as ever went to market goes to Mr. H.E. Johnson of Whangarei. Officers of the United States Joint Purchasing Board take a great interest in this competition because for the boys in the tropics, bacon is the one meat that doesn't come out of a tin, and that's what makes it important in the war effort. The slaughtering of pigs in May and June of this year made 7 million more pounds of pig meat available than for the same period last year. As the Minister of Agriculture said at the luncheon that followed,
this has come about because farmers realize how important this production is in our war effort, and the government wants to let you know how much we appreciate your patriotic effort. Our target of 43,000 tons of pig meat now looks decidedly hopeful. Now, to decrease the need for imported grains, I am pleased to say that next autumn, a subsidy of £5 per acre will be paid for suitable crops grown for winter pig feed. The production of pig meat is one of the many ways we can make victory more certain, and I know that you farmers will continue this loyal effort.
plastics are materials that go by such names as bakelite, xylonite, and a dozen other names. In the finishing room of this Christchurch factory, girls are completing dozens of articles made here from plastics. They put together electric switches. The base of each is made from a plastic. They trim off the rough edges of cups, made from a plastic. They clean up the paddles of an egg beater, made from a plastic. They polish bottle tops, made from a plastic. This industry is the product of farm and forest, water and waste, worked on by the chemist in his laboratory. The factory chemist here told us part of the secret.
The basis of all plastics is a synthetic resin. One of the most common types of plastics uses, for example, a resin based on coal tar and an alcohol. This resin is ground with what we call a filler, such as wood flour.
Pounded together, the resin and the wood flour make a powder, to which can be added colorings of every kind. Plastics range from jet black to crystal clear. Into the mold of a gigantic press go a few spoonfuls of powder, and the press does the rest. Out comes a cup that is hot to handle, for the secret of this process is pressure and heat. The pressure forces the powder round a mold. Heat is applied and the composition stays that shape. 200 tons to the square inch at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pressure and heat. From simple lampshades to aeroplane parts, the process is just the same. When we asked the owner who designs the articles his factory makes, he told us,
"Why, we do it ourselves. Take this beater, for instance. I think I first suggested it should be entirely in plastic. I then handed the idea over to the factory manager and the toolroom chief, and they carried it to a certain state. But we allow the tool makers themselves to make suggestions, and they added, in this case, quite a bit of streamlining."
First stage in the manufacturing process is cutting the dies or patterns around which the powder will be molded. These must be machined to thousandth of an inch in metal hard enough to withstand the heat and pressure. Here, the streamlined handle of the egg beater is being molded. The process is as simple as modern industry can make it. There seems no end to the thousands of articles that can be made from a plastic composition. Not a tank, not a plane, not a ship moves without vital parts made from plastics. In every house are articles once made of wood, metal, and porcelain. Now they're made from plastics. People say that houses, too, will someday be made of plastics. But when we asked the factory owner, he told us,
Without suggesting that within reasonable time we're going to see the so much publicised plastic house, I do think, however, that with the experience that we've had during the last 8 years of plastics, the more we see to make, the more there is still to make. And I think the time will come when most of the furnishings and the appointments in the modern home will be built of plastics as a far more suitable material.
here are some of the articles this factory alone is turning out. Electric fittings and telephone parts, aeroplane parts and household goods, all made by the miracle of plastics.